Hey, you guys! We are live! Yay! I'm really excited that you guys are listening in this week to this motivation. Thank you, everybody that's listening in on YouTube, through my website, through Google Plus, however you guys are listening in. I thank you. I appreciate you guys. As always, at the end of the video, I'm going to leave the website and the email address to where you guys can contact me, look at old videos, read old blogs, or whatever the case may be. So we're just going to go ahead and start. For everybody that knows or that follows this blog, you know that I love to start off with a story. So I'm just going to go ahead and start. Everybody that listens and have read knows that I had a strong addiction to pornography. It was so intense that I couldn't even go a day without watching it. And sometimes it was like multiple times a day. I would like skip my classes when I was in college to stay home and to actually watch pornography. I felt like it was way more important than going to class. In addition to that, I struggled with anger and hate and just so much stuff that stems from different situations that I experienced growing up. And in 2012, God delivered me. Yay. But for about a year after that, I felt like I wanted to do something, something that would motivate and encourage somebody else, but I wouldn't allow myself to do it because I would always have that mindset of, well, I used to do this. Or, you know, I would always be focused on what I used to do, that I couldn't really walk into what it was that God has called me to do or what it was that God wanted me to do. So I thought in my, well, how can I talk about purity when, you know, I wasn't walking in that? I wasn't pure before God. You know, I'm sleeping with guys and I'm fornicating and with my porn addiction. So how can I talk to people about purity when in the past I wasn't living or walking that walk? How can I talk about trusting God when before I wanted nothing to do with Him? I wanted nothing to do with you. I literally, I know it's a strong word, but how I felt then, I hated God. I had wanted nothing to do with God. So how can I talk about, you know, trusting Him when I didn't trust you before? How can I talk about loving everybody, your neighbor? You know how it talks about like love your neighbor. You're supposed to love, you know, love your neighbor as you love yourself. How can I talk about loving people when I didn't love myself? How can I encourage people? Because like, well, in the past I didn't feel this way. So how can I encourage you when I'm not feeling how, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know what I'm saying. How can I talk about leaning on Christ when the only thing I was doing was pushing Him away? How can I encourage people? So I was like, well, God, I don't know how you want me to do this because of my past. I was like, so I don't know what it is that you want me to do. These thoughts would surface and it would hinder me from actually stepping into what it is that God has called me to do. I wasn't using the what God has placed inside of me because I was more focused on what I used to do in the past. I was looking back. I kept looking back at my past situation, even though I was delivered. But for a whole year, I was at a standstill because I was just like, I don't know what you want me to do. What do you want me to do? Like, I can't do this. So there was a point in my life where I was just tired, and I remember talking to God, and I was just like, look, I need you to help me get over what it is that I had done against you because I feel horrible about that. And in order for me to continue to walk in who you want me to be and who you called me to be, I'm going to need for you to really help me to move on because I keep looking back. And it's the exact same thing with some of you. It's the exact same thing with some of you. I'm serious. So it's the exact same thing with some of you. We say, well, I can't do this because of what I used to do in my past. I can't do that because of, you know, I used to be like this. With me, I can't do that because I was addicted to pornography for 5 years. How do you expect me to speak about you when I didn't even like you before? Like, how do you expect me to do this? And it's the same thing that some of us go through. We say the same things. We say the exact same things. If it had not been for me, actually, by the power of God, actually stepping out of myself, I probably wouldn't be doing this motivational tonight. Stop allowing your mind to constantly go back to, well, I used to do this, or well, I used to do that. Because what it does is it hinders you. And the key word is, well, I did that in the past. The key word is did. You did. Past tense. Meaning you're not doing it anymore. Meaning, why are you constantly looking behind you when God is trying to call you forward? Sometimes we literally block our own blessings because we can't move forward with what we used to do from the things of past tense. I know this is happening, and I know that so many people struggle with this, but the thing about it is the enemy is that's when he's most at work. He wants you to stay stuck where you are. He doesn't want you to move forward. Andrea's free from pornography. That's cool. She good. Now I'm going to mess with her mind. I can't get her in that area anymore, so I'm going to get her, in some other way. And that's exactly what he's doing with you. And if you play into that, you're giving him that power over your life. Whose trust are you going to walk in? Trusting in God and his word and his plan? Or are you going to continue to keep going back to where you used to be? Because if you keep going back, you're not going forward, and you're not walking into who God has called you to be. And that's exactly what he wants you to do. Maybe some of you guys don't relate to, having a struggle like that. Mine was pornography. Some people deal with drugs, some people deal with other things, but maybe it's in a relationship. Maybe you keep looking back at your past relationship. You're like, well, you know what, I love that I'm with, or this girl that I'm with, whoever, if you're a guy listening, and I love this dude that I'm with, or I love this girl that I'm with, but you know what, I cannot open up to you because he did that to me in my past, and I can't allow you to come in like I let him in. I can't allow it. I love you, but I can't open up to you like I did to him. Well, why are you in a relationship? The kind of person that you are, you're not ready for a relationship, right? Constantly looking back, it destroys you. And when I was doing this, when I was studying this, or kind of thinking about what I wanted to talk about, Genesis chapter 19 came up. And I'm gonna read it. Genesis chapter 19, verse 15 through 17, and then jump down to Genesis chapter 19, verse 23 through 26. And just kind of give you guys a gist of it. This is when Sodom and Gomorrah was about to be destroyed. And so when the morning dawned, the angels urged Lot to hurry, saying, "Arise, take your wife and your 2 daughters who are here, lest you be consumed in the punishment of the city." While he lingered, the men took hold of his hand, his wife's hand, and the hands of his 2 daughters, the Lord being merciful to him, and they brought him out to set him outside the city. This is where I want you guys to listen to. So it came to pass, when they had brought them outside, that he said, "Escape for your life. Do not look behind you, nor stay anywhere in plain. Escape to the mountains, lest you be destroyed." Now jump down to 23. The sun had risen upon the earth when Lot entered Zoar. Then the Lord rained brimstone and fire on Sodom and Gomorrah from the Lord out of the heavens. So he overthrew the cities, all the plain, all the inhabitants of the city, and what grew on the ground. But his wife, Lot's wife, looked back behind him, and she became a pillar of salt. So the Lord basically warned them, don't look back. Don't look back. You will be destroyed. You'll be destroyed. There ain't nothing for you to look back to. So, they're running. Sodom and Gomorrah is being destroyed. Then Lot's wife turns around, and instantly she's consumed. Instantly she's destroyed. Just like they said, don't look back or you'll be destroyed. You'll be destroyed. It's not much different from what some of us do today. We're running from our past. We're free from whatever it is that God delivered us from. We've never felt closer to Christ. You're running. I'm free from pornography. I'm running. And then you stop, and then you face something, and then you look back, and then you're destroyed. In a relationship, you're running. I'm free. I'm out of that toxic relationship. I'm so good. Thank God. Like, I'm done. I know that was not. And then he sends you somebody that's the man of your dreams, or so you think, or the woman of your dreams, or so you think. And then you're running, and then you meet him, and then you're face to face, and then you stop, and then you look back, and then you start comparing, and then you destroy your relationship, and then you're wondering, like, well, why did that happen to me? Why did that happen? I don't understand why it happened. Because you keep looking back. You cannot keep comparing, your relationships to your new relationships. You can't keep comparing your old situations to your new situations. For me, I couldn't keep saying, well, Lord, I can't really do this vlog because I used to be addicted to pornography. On that, like I said earlier, I wouldn't be on this video blog or whatever you call it tonight. I wouldn't be on here tonight. We have to learn how to stop looking back and look forward and trusting God. You're asking God for a husband and a wife. He's not going to send you something that you're not ready for, because he knows that you would just destroy it anyway. But you're constantly looking behind you. You're not looking forward. You're not focused. You have to stay focused on Christ. It's impossible to have a healthy relationship when you're constantly comparing your last person to somebody else. Maybe you should just go back to the last person if you're not going to leave them in the past. So tonight, I like to keep these video blogs short. So this week, the week coming up, I want you guys to focus and stop blocking your blessings, but basically. Stop blocking your blessings. I heard this analogy one time. You know how a car windshield, and the windshield is like really small? It's meant to be small because you're not gazing in the windshield. You do a quick glance and then you keep going. It's so small because there's nothing behind you that you really need to see. But then you have like the windshield in front of you that's so big. You can see so much out of it because you're headed in this direction. And there's so much in front of you. But you're not going to get to your destination if you keep looking back in the windshield, in the little mirror in your car. Y'all know what I mean. You're not going to get to your destination if you keep looking back. So this week, stop looking back. Really walk in purpose, on purpose. Like, you know what? Last week I was just a crazy mess because I felt like guilty for whatever it is that I used to do. So this week, coming up from today on forward, be mindful of some of the things that you say, some of the things that you do. If you do feel like you're not walking in something, or you don't have a successful relationship, or whatever the case is, because of something that you dealt with in the past, I want you all to really go before God so that He can mend that area. Honestly, you don't really need to be doing something that you're not ready for, because you will just mess it up. So this week, I want you all to definitely stay focused on God, for one. Spend time with God, for two. And when you find yourself trying to like compare two people, or compare your life, your past with your present, trying to kind of mash them together, stop. Don't do it. Be like, oh, Andrea said no. Don't fall into that trap, because the enemy wants to keep you bound in that toxic relationship anymore, so he's going to try to play mind games with you. He knows he can't keep me bound. He knows that I'm free from pornography. He knows that I'm free from fornication. He knows that I'm free from hurt, anger, sadness, like depression. He knows that. So he can't really step to me with that. So he's going to try other avenues. And that's exactly what he's going to do with you. Try other avenues to keep you trapped. But the thing about it is, we can overcome because the God that we serve has already overcame. And that same power that Jesus had walking this earth, It lives inside of us through the Holy Spirit. The only thing we have to do is tap into that. We don't have to just take any and everything from the enemy. Stop being a doormat. You really don't have to take any and everything from the enemy. Because why? Because we serve a God that's already overcome. We have that same power. Walk in that power. So this week, really be mindful of what you're doing. Make sure that you are not comparing your past with your present. Keep your past in the past. Keep your present in the present. Keep your future ahead of you. Keep focused on God. And definitely make sure that you are constantly in communication with God. That's very important. That's very important. So I look forward to hearing from you guys. You know, I like to hear y'all's email. I like to read y'all emails. I email everybody back if you email me, or if you message me on Facebook. So email me, beautifully.uyu@gmail.com, or you can visit the blog site. I have different blogs on there. I have different video blogs on there. We just started doing this live video blogging, so I'm still trying to get used to it. So y'all bear with me because I be so nervous. I don't know if y'all can tell. I be so nervous. And yeah, so the website beautifully.u@gmail.com, or that's the email address. The website www.bebeautifullyou.com. I always get those mixed up, so don't judge me. And yeah, just let me know about your experiences. I would love to talk to you guys. So yeah, that's it for the night. I thank you, everybody that is listening in. I see we have some viewers on the YouTube channel. Everybody else listening in on, I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. And as always, be bold, be beautiful, always be you. Trust God. Never stop trusting God, regardless of the situation that you're in. And I will see you guys next week. Love you guys. Bye.